Good morning, everybody. My name's Fiona. This is Alio Moon Arts, and today we're going to make this little folio. This is a Coutrue Creations paper. These little clips I will do in a different video, and I'm probably going to break this down into two videos because we have the ephemera that I've put in here and also the folio itself. So to see how time goes, and that will decide on whether I make it into two or just the one video. So we're going to do a one-piece wonder, basically. I'm using the Coutrue Creations Blues by You collection. It is really stunningly beautiful. I'll just run through a little bit of this first. So that's an extra tag that I'd made from something else. So this is essentially what we're going to make first. Okay, got a little tag in this pocket, and this is with the original piece that I've done. So this is all from the One Piece Wonder. These extra bits we'll use another sheet to create those. Okay, to start off with, we need a 12 by 12 piece of paper. Let me just grab mine, and we'll need a scoreboard, a trimmer, paper trimmer, maybe a Stanley knife and a ruler, a pencil or a pen, and whatever coloured paper you're going to be using. So I've got the Blues by You collection, and I will also be using a piece of Blues by You vellum, and I think it's the foiled one that I used in this project. Just let me have a look. Yep, so it's this one. Let me just take my thing out and we'll have a look. So to do that belly band strip, the one that's here, it was done by a piece of Blues by You collection foiled vellum paper. So, and it comes in, there's 4 pieces in a pack, and one of each design. So let's have a look and see what we will use out of here. It's a little piece that was left over from the other lot. So now I've just got to decide on which design I want to use. Maybe this one here we might use, and that is number 3. But I don't need that just yet. First of all, we need to pick a piece of cardstock to use for today's project. Let's see what we've got. Yep, I think this one's the same colour as that one, so maybe one in a different colour might be nice. Okay. I might use this one for this project. Actually, no, we're not, because you want to try and have something that's non-directional. So I'm wondering whether I should choose the back side of one of these as our cover, and then we'll be able to decorate it later on. The ones that I got here. What are the patterns do we have? Stripes. That might work as well. Non-directional. It's directional. Actually, I might do this one. Okay, so I've collected my piece of Blues by You paper. Let me have a look on the. I must have already trimmed this one off. This must have been one that I was sorted out earlier. Okay, let's make a start on this. So we're going to grab our piece of paper. So if that's the top, so I want that to be the bottom, that'll be that pocket there. Okay, I think that's the way I'll have it go. So let's grab our scoreboard, and I'll grab my directions that I have. Okay, so first of all, we're going to take our 12 by 12 sheet, and we're going to score it at 3 3/4, 4, 8, 8 1/4, We're going to turn it once, and we're going to score it 1 3/4 and 7 1/4. Okay, so that is essentially all the scoring we will need to do for this project. But we do have a little bit of trimming out to do. So this piece here, which has the 1 3/4 score, is the top of your piece. This piece is the bottom, with the larger squares at the bottom. What we are going to do, I'll turn this over the right way. It's not going to matter. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the score lines from here and here up to this score line. So I'll just demonstrate that as best I can. And I want to take the whole score line out. So, okay, that's one. Okay, and then I'm just going to flip that up and trim it off. And do the same for this score line here, which I can't see very well. Okay, that's a bit better. Just up to that score line. Little piece there. It has. So I've not cut that very straight. I can just see there's a little piece still there. That's it. Got it. So now we'll do this side. And we're just going to flip that up. I need to cut that just a little bit longer. Okay, that's better. Just take that up to there and we'll snip this piece off. And then turn it around this way now. So these are going to be our flaps. I want those to, I want to remove this one. So this one will be on your right hand side with this pattern facing up. And we're going to cut out the score line. And this whole corner. So I'm just going to hold that down so I can see it a little better. So I'm going to cut this one all the way out. Up to that score line, and then we're going to cut this score line out as well. So I'm just going to define that score line a little bit better. So I'm going to cut out this score line. Okay. And like I said, we're just going to go up to that score line there. That score line there. We'll flip this piece up. And we'll trim it off. I know already that these are going to be pockets. So I'm just going to grab my large corner rounder. I'm just going to round this corner. I don't know why this one always makes it so hard. Okay. I'm going to fold this pocket down. Hopefully I can get into this one now. Okay, that one's done. And then we'll do the same for this one. So I'm going to bend this back this way this time. We'll do this corner pocket. Oh, sorry, flap. And we'll do this corner flap as well. Put that one back over that way so I can get into it. Okay, so I know those two corners I want rounded. Yep, and then this goes this way, yes. So this one here we're going to fold up, crease that line, and I want to round this corner. So let's do this pocket straight away. So I'm just going to grab a line of blue, just put it up along the edge. Hope I'm in frame there for you. So just a line of glue on the one side, on the outer edge, and we're just going to smush that down a little bit. Make that sure that's lined up. Put our pocket down. That's our first piece done. This one here, this centre one that we're going to work on, I'm going to just fold this one up for a minute so that's out of our way. I want to get, I'm just going to use a pen and my ruler, my trusty ruler. I'm just going to measure 1.5 inches from the bottom on this side and put a mark, and 1.5 inches from the top on this edge. So it's there. Now you can take a trimmer, you can take a Stanley knife, you can do this however you like. I'm going to, is that right? Oh, I thought it was down too low. 1.5 is there. No, 1.5 is there. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my, where can I find it? I know it's in here. There it is. So I'm going to come in here with my Stanley knife, and I'm just going to line my ruler up from each dot. Now, apparently you can do this with a trimmer. I've never had much success personally doing it with a trimmer. So this will be our slanted pocket. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this piece off. Right. Okay. So that's cut. So this piece, come back down. This piece will get folded up like so, and then this piece is going to fit back in here, and we're just going to put a little bit of glue on each corner there, and we're going to nestle it just back into place just underneath so that it attaches to this bottom pocket. So let's do that first. So it's just a little piece of glue here, a little bit of glue there. We're going to line it up with our bottom. Actually, before we do that, let's grab this is a 1.5 inch punch, and I'm just going to make a little notch on the angle on this one. Now let's go back to this, and we're going to place our strip, our top pocket down in place, just so that those two pieces join together again. We want them just to sit just in there. Come on, sit in there properly for me. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to let those two connect for a minute. By the way, I'm using Couture Creations all-purpose art glue. It is my favourite glue to use. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put a line of glue on each side. I'm just going to flip this up, and then we're going to glue it down. I could have put a notch in the top. Maybe I should have put a notch in the top as well, which I can do while it's still setting up. So I'm just going to put a notch in the top here. It's not necessary. You don't have to do it. It's just something that I like. I like the way it looks. So I'm going to put those two pieces in there. This becomes our other flap. So we've got a pocket. Let me just show you. We've got a pocket here. And we've got a pocket here. Okay, so that's both our pockets done. Now with this piece here, we're going to flip that over this side. This piece that we cut off earlier, I just want you to trim off any little flaps you may have there that are not needed. I'll show you what we're going to do with that. So I'm just folding that up, and I'm going to bring this piece back towards me, and I'm going to fold it down. This will give us two pockets, a top loading pocket and a side loading pocket. So there's my bone folder. So I'm just going to grab my bone folder and really make that crease really prominent. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my hole puncher again. I'm just going to put a little notch out of this side. What we're going to do is we're going to take some glue. We're going to glue along this edge and along this edge. Put that up. Try and let that set up a little bit first. So that will give us a pocket here. Okay. Now we're going to put some glue on this edge and on this edge. And now we have a little side pocket, which will be this one here. Okay, so let that sit for a minute. I'm just going to grab, so I use some of my store cards and I make little templates out of them to cut my corners. I'm just going to take this side, I'm going to cut the corner out. Okay, now grab my little hole punch. Just going to put a little hole in this one. Now look, you don't have to. I've got a little bit of ribbon sitting here on my workspace, so I'm just going to grab this. It's probably way too big for what I need, but we'll work it out. Maybe I'll just cut that in half. So I don't want it too big. Okay, going to fold it in half. Pop this piece through. Now I use my tweezers here because my fingers don't work great sometimes, so I like these ones that that stay closed and you've got to open them to use them. So I'm just going to grab that like that and pull this over here. So if you've got fingers that don't work real well, this does normally work quite well to pull them through smaller spaces. So just pull that through. Oops, and I pulled it right out. Okay. I don't know what it's like in your part of the world, but here in Australia at the moment where I'm living, it is quite cool. I've actually had the heater on this morning. Oops, let's go through there. Grab our piece again. That should come through there now. Oh, that's a struggle this morning, isn't it? Okay, there we go. So now we've got our little top piece on. And this will go into this pocket. So we have a coordinating tag for this pocket. I won't leave it in there just yet because it's still setting up. Okay, so we have our pocket here, which is quite a large pocket, and we've left this side open so it makes it easier to get things in and out. You could put a thumb notch if you want to in the top of this one. We've got one here, and on this side we're going to actually put in a belly band. I mean, you don't have to. You could create another pocket if you so desired to do so. So let's grab our paper again. I think I wanted this one. Let's move you down there for a moment. I'm going to grab my paper trimmer and I'm going to trim off a piece that measures 1.5 inches wide. I didn't cut that very straight. Okay, so that's one piece that's 1.5 inches wide, and now I need to figure out how long do I need to make it. So we've got 5.5 If we go to 6, that should give us 1/4 of an inch for each end. Okay, so we need to cut this 6 inches long. Let's see if my calculation is right. I'm not very good at math, so please excuse me if I've made a mistake. You're probably screaming, no, it needs to be a different length. But that's okay. Okay, so we've got our 6-inch piece and we're going to score it. So get the scoreboard out again. I'm going to score it at 1/4 of an inch on each end. Okay. Let me see if my calculation was right. So I'm going to score that over. I'm going to go back that way. Okay, back this way. And that should fit on there perfectly. There we go. I was right, but that score line is not very straight on this one, so let's straighten that up a little bit. Remember, don't score your paper too hard, your vellum paper, otherwise it may just break. Vellum is quite delicate. Okay, so we've got our, I'm just using all-purpose art glue from Coutrue Creations again, because it's my favourite glue to use. I'm going to grab, this time, a couple of bulldog clips. So I'm just going to try and line this up by eye. I want it roughly centre. Take my bulldog clip, just wipe off any excess glue that you may have. I'm just going to pop that on there, just to hold it in place, and I'm going to spin it around, and I'm going to do the same on this end. Yeah, I've got glue on there already. And I'm just going to grab my bulldog clip to hold that in place. That is essentially our folio made. So that will go like that, this will go like that, that will go like that, and that's our folio. But what you might need to do, which I haven't done yet, and I just noticed I hadn't, is we've got a couple of sets of score lines that we need to fold up, and this will just give us create a little bit of room inside our folio. There, that's better. And so we get this little edge, so it gives us a little bit more room inside our folio to put lots of different bits and pieces in. Okay, here comes the scary part. I'm going to start on the ephemera for this, for this folio. I don't have any real directions for what I'm doing. So, number one, I just had another piece of paper and I cut out a tag. And same as what I did before, only this time I used this longer side. The tag measures 4 5/8, I think that is. It's just after half. Yep, 4 5/8 across. Length, and it is 2 7/8 wide. Okay, so that's that. All I did was I cut it out. I've put a little bit of ribbon on the top. And because this side was blank, it was just a plain blue, I thought you could still write on that. So I didn't put anything on there. If you like, and yours is more patterned and not able to be written on, maybe put some tea-dye paper or something like that on it. So that will fit into this pocket. Okay. Now let's get to this flip down. So this was just a little flip down that I made. You will need a piece of cardstock measuring 12 inches long. Did I write this? Just let me check. I just need to check to see whether I've written this piece down or not. Envelope. Okay, now let me have a look. So this, yeah, I have. So this is a 12-inch piece by 3 3/4. Yep. Just double check that. Yep. So we've got a. That's not 3. Where are we up to? No, 3 3/8. Okay, so we've got a piece 3 3/8 by 12 inches, and we're going to score at 2 1/4 and 7 3/8. Okay, and that will give us our fold. So you're going to fold the bottom one up and the bottom and the top one down. I have also, let's make one of these first. Let's get another bit of paper. Let's go this way this time. Okay, just move that out of the way from that. Let's see what we've done. So we need a piece of paper that measures 12 inches across. And we want it to be 3 3/8. 3 3/8, which is there. Wide. Okay, so that's the first piece done. And we want to now score it. Here. So we're going to put our long side up the top. We're going to score at 2 1/4 and 7 3/8. 7 3/8. Where's that? 1 3/8. 7 3/8, which is the line just after the quarter mark. Okay, so that's our fold done and our scoring done for this piece. We're just going to burnish those fold lines. Just use my bone folder. Find this one and burnish this one down. So we've essentially made our little flip out. What I also did with this one was I grabbed my piece of paper that I was using and I grabbed my 1.5 inch punch and I just punched out a circle. Let's do it down here. Oops, it wasn't a very good circle, but that's okay. Left it a little short. So you can either go with this side and have it real contrasting, or you can have it this side and go a bit more neutral. I'm going to go a little bit more neutral. And the piece where I've missed, I'm just going to put it underneath the underside of the flap here. Add some glue. Chair Creations art glue is what I'm using again. Ooh. You don't have to use glue. You could also use tape if you wanted to. Probably not for this piece, but for the rest of it you probably could. So I'm just going to eyeball that and probably try and get it in the centre as best I can, which is not the greatest. I didn't do that very well at all. Let's go this way a little bit. Yep, that's better. Okay. So I've just glued that on there. Just going to burnish it down a little bit, make sure it goes on there nicely. I'm also going to take my punch and on this opposite end, where did I just go? This is my 1.5 inch punch. Just do a little notch on the top of that there. Okay, now I'm going to take my hole punch. I'm just going to try and centre it on here. Punch out a hole. There we go. So that's all the outside bit done. Now let's have a look at the inside bit. So that bit of vellum that we used before, we are going to need a piece that measures, let's see our first one, 4.5, just under 4.5 inches. So let's do that one first. What was the width of that? I think these are 1 inch wide. Let me check it on my other one. I think these were 1 inch wide, 1.25 inches. So 1.25 inches high, and we want a 4 inch piece this time. Trim up. So we want a piece that is 1.25 inches wide. that up there nicely. That's that one. And we want a piece that measures just under 4 inches. So 3 7/8 would be a good size, I would suggest. Maybe I'll get this bigger, slightly bigger one. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to go with this one. And I'm going to actually use a bit of tape this time for this. So let me grab one. There we go. I'm also going to add a little bit of glue to this tape as well. Probably made that too long. Yep, that's okay. We'll just trim this bit off. Just on the very end. Okay. Where's my prick tool? Here's one of them. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that off on both ends. And whilst this tape I've never had any problems with, because it's going to be a pocket that things are going to come in and out of, I just want to add a little bit of all-purpose art glue on it as well. So let's grab this and we're just going to center it onto our page. I want it a little bit up from the bottom. And I just want to push it in slightly. It helps if you do the bottom as well. Otherwise things will fall out of your pocket. Okay, sorry about that. So we'll just do this bottom piece as well. Now these are just a very shallow pocket that I'm putting in here. Because for what I'm going to use mine for, it doesn't need to be a big deep pocket. So like I said, I'm just going to put that on there, just up a little bit from the bottom. Then I'm just going to push it in, just push it in a little bit. So you've got sort of like this little gap. Just gives you a little bit of wiggle room when you're putting things in and out. Now I need a piece that measures 1 1/4 again by 4 7/8. So get another piece, because I know that other one's not long enough. And they say 4 1/4 by 4 7/8. Let's do our 1 1/4 strip first, then turn it. Okay, let's get our 1 1/4 strip. Now turn it to 4 7/8. 4 7/8 is there. And we're going to do the same thing again. Okay. So let's get our maybe that way. If I had made these a little bit longer, I could have folded them over and made it like a more a deeper, like a wider pocket in terms of you could get things in and out. But I did one like that with the last one, and it's okay, but it wasn't my favourite look. So I'm just going to grab a piece of tape, pop it down there, piece of tape and pop it over here. Then I'm going to do a piece across the bottom. Okay. Once again, we'll pull all our pieces off. Hold on a minute, I just need to trim that piece that's hanging over. Yeah, it's doing it on this end too. Yep, that's better. Okay, now we can do the rest of it. So let's pull this one off first. One, two, and three. I'll add a little bit of all-purpose art glue. This just allows me to be able to move it that little bit like I did with that first one by adding the glue to it. So I'm just going to pop it in place. Eyeball it up with the same side as the other, same length as the other one, same height as the other one, I should say. And then just smush and just gently push up, just to give that little bit of room in there. Okay, now let me grab a bit of ribbon, and that will be that piece completed. That will go down like that. This piece will come over like that. Just cut a piece off. I'm just going to grab my trusty lighter here and singe the ends so they don't fray. And this piece will just tie up like so. Okay, and that will go into this pocket just here. Obviously you'll fill it with whatever it is you want to fill it. You could also add a magnet or a Velcro dot. I might use a Velcro dot on this one. I'll grab that shortly and do that one. So that's this piece done. So this is a flip down. Well, I don't really know what you call it, but that's what I called it, because you've got to flip it down to get into it. And like I said, you've got all your bits in there. Okay, just pop that one back in there for the time being. Our next one is this envelope, and this should be right to take off now. So this is what we're going to put make an envelope to put into here. Just let me fix this up a little bit. Okay, that should fit in there now. Okay, so that fits in there like so. What have I got in this one? I have, let's open this up. Got a pocket, a little ephemera envelope, and a bigger flip open thingy. I don't know what you would call it, but anyway, almost like a little folder that holds the stuff. So this is for a tag. I'm going to show you how we do that. We want a piece of, let me have a look at my instructions. Let's see. Okay, so this middle pocket, we'll do this, no, we need to do this folder first. So that is, okay, we're going to need a piece of our design paper, and it needs to measure, we want it to be 12 by 4 3/4. Let's do it this way. 12 by 4 3/4 is there. So that's the height. Let me just put this out of my way. Okay, so 4 3/4. Take that bit off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut it down to 10. Here's the 10 mark. Slice that piece off. This will become our tag to go inside our doodaddy. Okay, and we're going to grab our scoreboard again, and we're going to score at, on the long side, we're going to score at 2 inches, 5 1/4 inches, and we want 8 3/4 of an inch, 8 3/4 here. So that is the folio. This piece tucks up like that. This piece folds over like that, and this piece folds down over the top. Okay. So I'll just run through that again. So you've got a piece of your decorative cardstock. This one measured 12 by 4 3/4 inches. You're going to cut off a piece that's 2 inches wide. So you're going to cut off 2 inches from the end. So it makes this 10 inches wide. Then we're going to score at 2 inches, 5 1/4 inch, and 8 3/4 inch. This will now become our tag for our middle pocket. I'll just sort it out now so that we've got it ready to go. Okay. Okay, let's cut this one. Little hole. Okay, now to decorate this one. So I'm going to start on this end. I'm just going to grab my hole punch, and I'm going to just take a thumb notch out of that one, and I'm going to grab my glue. We're going to glue each end. Just a small line of glue. That's our first bit done. Whoop. Hold on a minute, I'll just get a couple of clips to pop on that for a minute, just so it can set up. There's one. There's the other. Okay. Whilst that's setting up, we're going to pop this to one side. Now we need a library pocket, which is this one here, for our centre. We're going to do that in vellum. Now, where's the bit of vellum that we had? Here it is. So let's have a look for our pocket. We want it to be 3 1/2 inches by 4 there we go. What height have we got this one at? Okay, so we're going to make this one 4 inches, 3 7/8 of an inch high. But what I'm doing is I'm leaving this piece on here, and I'm going to fold that up to help create our pocket. And it needs to be, I got this one. So it's 3 inches, so 3 1/2 inches wide. So if we score this at 3 1/2 inches, so we'll cut it at 3 1/2 inches, and we'll score quarter of an inch. Flip it around, score quarter of an inch again, and then I'm going to score quarter of an inch. I'm going to flip it over this way to do this one. So this one I'm just going to score, stay there, mister. I'm just going to score across the bottom on that piece that's been written on. Okay, so now we're going to fold these. Actually, I'm going to cut off the little corner pieces so that it gives us a better fold. It's going to cut down, cut across. Just cutting out those little pieces. I'm going to fold this one up. This one this way, this one this way. Okay. Now I only use glue on this one, but that. Let's bring this one back over. Let's place this here. Now, this is a choice that you can make. Do you want a notch in yours or don't you want a notch in yours? I like the notch. just going to pop one in there, and this time I'm just going to use glue on this one because we've got these nice folds at the back. So this makes for quite a good, it holds quite a bit of ephemera and stuff because we've added this 1/4 of an inch that gives it that depth in the pocket itself. Okay. So now we're just going to pop that down. And I just throw clips on here for a little bit. Hold them on the bottom for the minute. Just wanting that to set up a little bit better before I move ahead. Okay, that looks pretty good. So that's going to go there like that. That's going to go there like that. We still need to, yep, we need to create, so we need a 1 inch punch circle again. So a 1.5 inch punch circle again. So we'll do that now while that's still setting up. Okay, there's my circle. And this time you can same again, you can either go with this side, having this side on it, or you can go with having this side. I'm going with the more subtle, so I'm going to have the same coloured side on there. Okay, once again, some Couture Creations art glitter glue. Sorry, not art glitter, art glue. All-purpose, multi-purpose art glue. Okay, now going to find our centre. That looks pretty good. Push that down. Let that sit for a little bit till it dries, and then we'll punch a hole in that. The next piece we need is our little envelope. Hold on. Actually, no, we'll do our little card. So this was our piece that we cut off the end. And I'm just going to get a bit of ribbon. I'm going to burn those ends just so they don't and I'll do this one up after. I might even just put a staple in that one, just for something a little different. So all I've done is pulled it through, and I've just got my stapler. I'm just going to staple that in place, and that'll go into this pocket. Now we need to make our envelope. So we've still got a bit of our second 12 by 12, which is what we're going to use to make our envelope. So we need a piece of cardstock that is 5 7/8 of an inch long. 5 7/8. So we'll just cut that bit off. Beautiful. And it needs to be 4 inches wide. So we'll cut that bit off. We'll just trim that bit off there because I don't like seeing that bit there. You can just see that bit of white on the bottom, and I don't like the look of it, so just trimming it off. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to grab our scoreboard. We're going to score at, put it in lengthwise, we're going to score at 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and at 4 1/4. Okay. Now, forward away again. So this is going to be our envelope. And that's going to go into this pocket here. So I'm going to put my notch in on this one. Up there. And essentially I'm just going to glue the two sides. That side and this side. Okay. Oops. That away and then I'll pop this down. Okay, so we're going to get a bit of scrap paper that we've got left. Okay, and I'm going to use my 1-inch punch this time. No, I'm not. I'm going to use my 1.5-inch punch again. I'm going to punch out one more hole. I fold it in half. I'm going to put it on the front of our little envelope. Now this is purely for aesthetics. I'm not putting a hole in there. I'm not going to put a ribbon in the envelope. It was just purely because I like the way it looks, and it unifies the whole piece with all the other pieces by doing this. Okay, but by all means you could punch a hole in here and you could add a little bit of twine or ribbon or something around it and then pop it in the pocket. So that'll go into this pocket here, like so. This pocket is done. Now all we need to do is add some ribbon and punch a hole. Actually, there's one more step I need to do. So our last bit of paper that we've got, our decorative paper we've got there, I'm going to make another tag out of. So I'm going to punch a hole, extend it as best you can. I'm going to thread some ribbon through here. And once again, I'm going to wrap that around, and I want to make it long enough that I can tie a bow on it. Okay. So let's tie this bow. Okay, that one goes back in that little pocket there. That one goes around there. Okay, so now we have, where do we put this? No, wrong one. Picked up the wrong one. Okay, let's have a look at this one. So now we now have our insert for this pocket, and you'll put ephemera and things, or whatever it is you want to put into those pockets. This one is the one that'll slip into here. And that fits in there just nicely. Now we have this piece of paper still left. So all I'm going to do is cut off the, sorry, I didn't do that on camera. I'm just cutting off the edge. And I'm just going to make a larger, it could be, you could use it as a journaling spot, I suppose. Or you can make it as a tag. It's just not straight. Okay, so I'm going to make this one as a tag. So once again, I'm just going to use my template that I've already done. Chop that piece off. Chop that corner off as well. Punch a hole. That can go into this pocket or this pocket. You can do whichever way you like. I'm going to have this one in this top pocket. I haven't made anything to go into this bottom pocket as yet, but my thoughts on that are, you lovely people are quite capable, and you might have some other ideas about what you would like to put in that pocket. So once again, this is the project that I created. I'm sure these have been done by many other people as well. Let's put that one back in there. And that's what it's going to do. I'm just going to get some Velcro dot. Just give me 2 seconds. I know I've got some here somewhere. There we are. So I've got these little white, these are Coutrue Creations, hook and eye, I think some people call them as well. So let's get, just going to pop it on there. And pull it up. So now we have a closure for that one. I don't think I want to put anything on that one, because my idea sort of was that when I put something in this pocket, I would make it tall enough so that it would hold this one closed. Maybe a little bit of ribbon on this. Just singe those ends a little bit so that it doesn't fray. And because I stapled the other one, I'll do a staple in this one as well. Okay, let's get this on here again. Oh, that bottom piece keeps moving. Or I keep moving it, one of the two. Okay, let's go this way. That's it. Okay, so we've got that on there. So that one will go up into this pocket. That'll close down. This one goes in, this one goes over. And we've also, here's our little tag for our side pocket. Where did I put that? Oh, here it is. So this one will go into our side pocket. Like so, that will go like that. You could also add a bit of ribbon or a bit of elastic, like a decorative elastic of some sort, and put it around it to hold it all together. I planned on putting these into a couple of my journals, so that's what I'm doing with them. But they would also make great happy mail. They would also make a great gift just to give to somebody. You know, you might put a little card in there and little bits in there for the person. You could actually put a tea bag and some chocolate in them. There's lots of room there for different things that you could do. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks again. This is a longer video, and I do apologise for that, but it was either a long video or 2 videos, and I thought the long video might be better. Thanks very much, guys. Have a great day. If you have any questions, don't forget to ask. Bye.
you.